Next, singing the Indonesian national anthem and in Jember University hymn song. To the committee, time is yours. Thank you very much. Now we are going to the second agenda speech. Without further ado, I would like to invite the head of agro-industrial Master Study Program Jember University, Bapak Dr. Bambang Heri, to give a short welcome speech. Time is yours, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Nita. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone who joined this morning. Best wishes for all of us. The first, whom I respect to Dr. Bambang Marhainanto as the Dean of the Agricultural Technology Faculty, the University of Jember. And I also respect to Academic Vice Dean, Professor Ida Bagusur Yaningrat, and all the faculty leaders. Dear for professor, lecturers, and academic communities from the University of Jember and other university. And what I'm proud of are the students of have graduated industry practitioner and all of webinar committee and PIC. Special thanks to Associate Professor Dr. Nikon Sirifong Faisal from Prince of Songla University, Thailand, Arun Sawat, Professor, Kop Kun Mak, Sap Kun Mak, the system I got from Thailand. Dr. Nikon, who was willing to be an invited speaker in this event. Professor Nikon is a very experienced lecturer in logistics and supply chain. So we are interested to invite him to share his knowledge and experiences. Thank a lot again to Dr. Nichols. We would like to thank to all the participants from other university who have joined this webinar. I saw on my attendance list, there are more than 200 participants who came from various institutions. They are from Gajah Mada University, Brawijaya University, Lampung, Trunojoyo, Andalas, and many colleges that we cannot mention one by one. Some of them work as lecturers, some else still be a student of undergraduate, graduate, and postgraduate, and other are practitioners. Thanks also to our friend in Association of Agro-Industrial Technology Professional, we call APTA, who have supported this event. Maybe here there is a general chairman of APTA, Dr. Yuli Wibowo. Thank you for supporting. It is important to inform here that this webinar is a series of webinar events on the topic of supply chain management. This event is regularly held by the Master of Agro-Industrial Technology Study Program every year with the goal of developing knowledge for lecturer and student. The God willing, inshallah, on November 6, 2023, next month, the study program will also hold a national webinar with the topic about sustainability supply chain management. Hopefully, you can all participate again. We know that the problem of measuring supply chain performance is not simple. So it requires an integrated approach from upstream to downstream. Integration not only business actors, but also integration of processes, material, information, and finance. The supply chain operation reference model, or we call SCOR, is a framework developed by the Supply Chain Council, or SGC, in 1919 to help organizations understand, evaluate, and improve their supply chain operation. The SCOR model is widely used in industry and has become the de facto standard for supply chain management. The SCOR model is very comprehensive framework. It is not only show the level of supply chain perform, but can also describe the processes and benchmarking for many organizations. There has been a lot of research on the implementation of the SGOR. We, at university assume that the SGOR model has been widely applied in various industries. However, is that true? The answer to that question is what you want to know in this webinar. The current SGOR model is not enough. The industry continues to move toward processes that are more environmentally friendly. In the future, a company's competitiveness will not only be determined by business and operational aspects, but must regard to superior perform from an ecological or environmental aspect that we call green SGOR. Nowadays, it has become a necessity to develop an effective of green SGOR. Of course, this is an interesting research topic for academic and researchers. The topic of green SGOR has been the subject of many tests and dissertations at many universities. So, how can we build a true effective green SGOR matrix? The answer to that question is in this webinar. Once again, I would like to thank to Dr. Nikon for his explanation and answer later. Dr. Nikon can tell us anything about SGOR or green SGOR, and we will be very happy to hear it. You can also tell about your experience with many companies regarding the implementation of green SGOR. Finally, thank you to all parties who have helped to organize this webinar. Hopefully, this webinar can provide most benefit for all of us. Enjoy attending the webinar. With regard from us. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Dr. Bambang Heri, for the short welcome speech. Now, I would like to invite my respectful Dean of Agriculture Technology Faculty, Bapak Dr. Bambang Mahenanto, to give an opening speech. Time is yours, yeah?
It's also opening the agenda, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Nita, Dr. Nita. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good morning. Selamat pagi. Swastika, honorable faculty leader, including Vice Dean of Academic Affairs, Professor Bagus, Vice Dean of Administration and Finance, Dr. Sri Wahyuningsi, and coordinator of the study program in Faculty of Agricultural Technology, including Pak Bambang Heri, and Honorable Professor Nikon Sirifong Faisal from Industrial Engineering Department, Prince of Songkla University, Thailand. Student, lecturer, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let's be grateful to our God who has been giving us some mercies and blessing so we can attend this virtual meeting in a good condition and happy situation. As the published invitation, this is a webinar on measuring green supply chain management or GSCM performance for agro-industry that will be presented by experts, including Professor Ida Bagus Suryaningrat from Home University and Professor Nikon Sirifong Faisal from PSU Thailand. This webinar has been prepared by the study program of Agro-Industrial Technology, Faculty of Agricultural Technology, University of Jember, in order to provide information about the supply chains management, a study which mostly taken by student and lecturer of field study of agro-industrial technology, both undergraduate program and master program. It also will be a performance achievement of the institution, which indicate international events Therefore, I thank Dr. Bambang Heri as coordinator of the study program of agro-industrial technology and teams who have initiated and prepared this webinar. Ladies and gentlemen, the term of green has been associated with the natural world and the environment. This is likely due to the fact that green is the color of plant, which is essential for life on Earth. Plants produce oxygen, which we breathe, and they also provide food for many animals. In addition, green is often associated with growth, new beginnings, and freshness. This is why it is often used to symbolize environmental protection and sustainability. Green business and organizations are those that are committed to reducing their impact on the environment and conserving natural resources. Today, we will discuss about measuring green supply chain management, also known as sustainable supply chain management. It's an approach to managing the flow of goods, services, and information from the initial raw material extraction to the end customer, with a focus on reducing the environmental impact of the entire supply chain. It encompasses various practices and strategies aimed to integrating sustainability and environmental responsibility into supply chain operation. Furthermore, the expert, Professor Bagus and Professor Nikon, will deliver about it. Therefore, to the speaker, Professor Nikon and Professor Bagus, as a Dean of the Faculty of Agricultural Technology, University of Jember, I thank and appreciate for your willingness to provide interesting material on this webinar as requested by the committee. Hopefully, the participant could receive and the knowledge that it is useful for them. To all participants, welcome and thank for joining this webinar. Hopefully, it will be useful to develop your career. Special for students, please pay attention to the content of the speaker's presentation. Use this as a source of inspiration and ideas for writing papers and completing your final project. Okay, I think as requested that I should open this webinar. So by saying Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, I declare that the webinar on measuring green supply chain management performance for agro-industry today, October 21st, 2023, is officially open. That's all. Apologize for my mistake. Have a nice webinar. Good luck. Back to MC, Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Santi Santi, Om Swadika.
Thank you, Dr. Bambang Marhenanto. Ladies and gentlemen, now we have to our main agenda, the webinar session. All presentation and discussion will be moderated by our moderator, Professor Ida Bagus Suryaningrat. But first, allow me to read his short bio. Professor Ida Bagus Suryaningrat was born in Jember, if I'm not wrong. And now he is a lecturer, one of our professor and lecturer in the Faculty of Agricultural Technology. He got his bachelor degree from Faculty of Agriculture University of Jember And then he got the Master of Management in it at Gajah Mada University, Indonesia. And he also graduated from Asian Institute of Technology for his Doctor of Engineering. For the experience, right now, he is the academic staff or lecturer in our faculty. And then he got the associate professor in 2003. And then he got the professor in 2022. He ever been as head of Department of Study Program of Agriculture Engineering, Faculty of Agriculture Technology. And then right now, he is a Vice Dean of Academic Field at the Faculty of Agriculture Technology, Jember University at 2020 up to now. And for field of interest, he is interested in agro-industrial management, supply chain management of agro-industry, in the engineering, economic, and agro-industrial field. And for the publication, we also know that he has a lot of publication in the Scopus or other publication. I think that's all for his short bio. And now I will give all the time to Professor Ida Bagus Suryaningrat to lead the webinar session. Professor Ida Bagus Suryaningrat, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Nita. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this international seminar we call this web seminar. And today we have the title of this seminar is Measuring the Supply Chain Management, Performance of Agro-Industry, Theoretical and Practices. Before we start, let me introduce myself. My name is Ida Bagus Suryaningrat, as said by Dr. Nita. I'm from the Department of Agro-Industrial Technology, Faculty of Agricultural Technology, University of Jember. And in this particular session, I would like to serve as your moderator in this seminar. First of all, I would like to thank to all participants and all audiences. Thank you for joining this seminar. Before we start presentation for speaker, I would like to read the sequence of this seminar today. This seminar will be divided into 3 sessions. Firstly, presentation from the speakers, and then we continue to discussion, and conclusion and closing session. And each session, there would be discussion and question session from the participant or audiences. Okay, now we have one speaker here. He is Professor Nikon Sherifong Faisal. Professor Nikon already here. Could you hear me clearly, Professor?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, let me. Yeah, Professor Nikon is from Department of Industrial and Manufacturing Engineering, from Faculty of Engineering, Prince of Songkhla University, Pattaya, Songkhla, Thailand. Now we're going to first session. Before we start the first session, I would like to read Professor Nikon's CV. As I get from him this CV, I would like to read this. The address of Professor Nikon, Department of Industrial and Manufacturing Engineering, Faculty of Engineering, Prince of Songkhla University, Pattaya, Songkhla, Thailand. We already discussed this morning that Pattaya is located in south of Thailand. And, the education, Professor Nikon is get his Bachelor of Engineering from Industrial Engineering in 1992 from Prince of Songkhla University. And then he continued his master's degree in engineering management. He got his master's degree in 1995, Lama University, the Texas State University System, Beaumont, Texas, USA. And for PhD, he got from Industrial Engineering, 1999, from the University of Texas at Arlington. This is Arlington, Texas, USA. His experiences He is associate professor from Department of Industrial Engineering, Faculty of Engineering, Branch of Songkla. This is from 2006 to present. Assistant professor, Department of Industrial Engineering. This is also Faculty of Engineering, Branch of Songkla University from 2003 until 2006. He is a lecturer in this department, same department, Department of Industrial Engineering, Faculty of Engineering, Branch of Songkla from 1999 to 2003. And he is also have one experience as field inspector in the Cell Company of Thailand from 1992 to 1994. His field of interest, Professor Nikan, concerned in the logistic and supply chain management, and then also engineering statistics, quality engineering, and also focusing in the design of experiments, and also a statistical and time series process control. And the third is response surveys methodology, and also he also concerned in quality management. And I read here for his paper publication, a lot of publication papers in journal. And I read here most of the publication. This is close to supply chain management. And now from his experience, we will hear from Professor Nikan, and then we will discuss also with Professor Nikan about supply chain. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Professor Nikan will give you the time for presentation to deliver your presentation. Okay, how long for this presentation? Maybe 50 or 6 minutes. I will give you the time for presentation. Thank you, Professor Nikan. This is I'll give you the time, and then you can start the presentation. Okay. Thank you, Professor.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Bagas. Okay. First of all, I would like to say thank you to the Dean of the Agro-Industrial Technology and all the faculty that give me a warm welcome. Actually, I would like to be humble because today my objective of the speech, I would like to introduce, for the audience, for to know why before to know how. Okay, so most of the material that I prepare, I went back to the background of the subject, and I try to motivate all the audience why we have to focus on the supply chain, and from the supply chain to the green supply chain, and green supply chain, why we have to our goal is to the sustainability. That's the plan for my speak today. Okay, maybe I will touch in some application like the Dr. Bambang Harry. He mentioned about the score or the green score. Maybe I just pick up at some point. Okay, I will not go into detail. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, so everyone can see my screen. Okay, I would like to go. Yes. I would like to go on the topics for today that I prepare. Like I mentioned, I want to go from the background or from the fundamental of the subject, and I try to give you the motivation for the goal, why we have from the supply chain, why we have to move to the sustainability supply chain. Okay, and I will show you some example of the performance measurement, because I think this is like the standard. When you mention about the score, I think this is like the standard that we can pick up the standard and apply to our problem. So in my idea, the more important than the standard, it's we have to find the problem first. If you see from my background, maybe I work in the supply chain area, but I apply the supply chain area in many disciplines, like in agro-industry or the manufacturing supply chain or the healthcare supply chain. But I think the fundamental is about the concept of the supply chain. That's why I try to start from the background. And I will end my presentation with the research study that I just wrap up. I pick some point, some activities in the supply chain, and use the sustainability concept with our case study. Okay, that's the end of my presentation. First of all, I would like to, I think everyone is familiar or get used to with the supply chain system. But when we focus on the agro industry, maybe the agro industry supply chain has a little bit different from the industry supply chain. But most of the member, I mean most of the member, they are similar. I think I try to make the difference from the color, because when we talk about the industry supply chain, we mainly focus on the manufacturer and the distributor, the wholesaler, and the customer. But in my idea, the thing that make the supplier, when we talk about the industrial supply chain, we mainly focus on the supplier. But for the agro industry, without plantation, without collector, we cannot complete the supply chain. If you see, so the typical characteristic of the agro-industrial supply chain, we start from the plantation, and we have to have the collector to gather, to collect all the material, or I mean all the fruit, all the bunch from the plantation, and turn to the manufacturer, and so on. I give you the example. If you see in the next slide, the example of the agro-industry supply chain. When you see the typical value chain or the of this supply chain, when we see the plantation, I mean that the upstream of the agro-industry. We may have the small holders, we may have the big holder or the small farmer association, and from the provider. Okay, I say this group is the upstream of the agro industry. That's a plantation. Okay, maybe the missing from this picture, like I mentioned from the last slide, is about the collector. Like I mentioned, in Thailand, the smallholder, they're not capable because the productivity may be so low, and when they harvest, they need someone, okay, to collect their products and send to the manufacturer. So that's why after they finish planting, the next step is harvesting and transport. Okay, between the harvesting and the third step, the primary processing, in Thailand, I think in Indonesia we are the same. We have the collectors or the middleman to collect the products and send to the primary processing. Okay, and from the primary processing, it depends on your product, right? In this study, I will show you the example of the palm oil industry that I think we be familiar to the CPO. Okay, and from the primary processing to the secondary, to the distribution, and to the market. This is the picture of our agro industry supply chain that I think it's a general system that everyone already knows. Okay, let me deep down to the activities. In the activities in the supply chain, this is like the standard activities that we can find from the theory. Okay, why we have to pay attention to the activities, or I call the logistic activities in the supply chain, because when we want to measure, okay, we have to focus on the activities, because the supply chain is a big system. Normally, the problem that it can be seen, it can be seen from, it can be seen the problem that happen to the consumer, right? But actually, when we see the problem at the consumer, we have to understand it's like the collection of the problem from many points in the system, of the supply chain system. That's why I would like to deep down, to dig down in the activities, because when you see the activities in the supply chain or any supply chain, we have two main groups. The first group, we have the core activities. I think we already mentioned about the customer service, the order processing, the distribution communication. The activities in the core or in the supporting, you can look into flow, right? One is a physical flow, and another one is information flow. Okay, like when we talk about the customer service, this one is about the managed information flow, or the order processing, okay, or the distribution communication. I think all these three, they are related to the information flow. Or when we talk about the demand forecasting, okay, this already the information. Okay, in terms of the manage the supply chain, how we can manage the flow of information effectively and efficiently. Okay, that's a thing that we have to concern. And when we talk about the physical flow in the supply chain, in the core activities like the inventory control, for the inventory control activities, they already include the information and the physical. Okay, the transportation, the warehousing, and so on. This is our core activities. Okay, for the supporting activities, you can see the material handling, the procurement, and so on. Okay, this is like the standard activities when we try to understand, or when we try to analyze the problem in our supply chain. Let's go to the next slide. In the next slide, I just pick the case. Because I think Thailand and Indonesia, we are in common for the agricultural product. Okay, I pick for the palm oil production. Maybe this data. Okay, I talk about the production year between 2021 and until 2022. You can see the Indonesia is a leading country for the palm oil industry. The second is Malaysia, but it's far. The number is a lot different. And when we when you compare the Thailand, and okay, we are the number 3, but it's a lot different. I picked the palm oil production because I want to share with the fundamental data. I think the palm oil industry and the palm oil and the oil palm industry, I think that's a main industry for the Indonesia. Okay, we talk in terms of the production. Okay, and when you see in the plantation area, this one I refer the data from the Statista. Okay, you can see in the latest year, no, not in the 2021, is about 14 million hectares for the plantation. This is a big industry, right? And when we classify by the plantation area, you can see the big number. The plantation area, the number one that has a plantation area is in Rio. Okay, the second one is Kalimantan. Okay, and so on. You can see maybe every island, if I'm not mistaken, every island in the Indonesia, there's a main industry for the palm oil. Okay. The next slide. Okay. I will pick for the study for the oil palm and the palm oil supply chain. Okay. When we want to measure, like I mentioned first, we have to understand all the activities that flow, even the physical flow or the information flow in the supply chain. When we talk about I said from the seed, okay, the palm oil seed, okay, and from the palm oil seed, we have to plant. I said the second one is like the baby palm oil, okay, and from the baby palm oil, we take about what 200 something day. It's about 8 months to plant, and we have to wait about 3 or 3.5 years until we can harvest. Okay, when we harvest, we got the fruit bunch. Okay, and the fruit bunch from the plantation, we may need or we may not need the collector to collect to the palm oil mill. Okay, and from the palm oil mill, the first, this is I said is a primary processing from the fruit bunch to the CPO. Okay, and from the CPO, we distribute the CPO to the refinery, and the secondary processing, you will get the refined oil or maybe from the cooking oil. But from the refined oil, if you try to track, you will see many chains. I mean, following this chain. So this is I think the main industry for the Thailand or for the Indonesia. We have same in common. So I start from this picture. When we understand our nature, okay, I would like to take you to the circumstance or the situations. Okay, I think I pick up one circumstance, okay, as a case. When we talk about the situation that will happen in the near future, you will see. I think some of you might heard about the Green Deal or the European Green Deal. Okay, what is the European Green Deal? The European Green Deal, they try to uh, strive or they try to be the first climate neutral continent. Okay, they want to transform the EU into a modern, resource efficient and competitive economy. Some of the target of the Green Deal or the European Green Deal, like the reduction to the 50% or 55% at least for the net emission of the greenhouse gases by 2030. Okay, and in next 20 years, I mean the next 20 years from 2030 to 2050, they talk about the no net emission of greenhouse gas. Okay, for the European Green Deal, the action, they focus on the climate, environmental and oceans, energy, transport, agriculture, finance and regional development, industry and research innovation. Okay, this is I give you for the situation for the industry. So the action plans for the European Green Deal, the action plan, they are the legislative to guarantee in the following main areas. Okay, like they focus on the improving the trading rights and greenhouse gas emission. Okay, that's the first one, the main area, the first main area. Okay, and the second main area, they try to promote off green transportation. I mean, in every mode. I mean, the land transportation, the sea transportation, and air transportation. They try to promote the green transportation. The third main area, they try to set the environmental friendly business tax rates. Okay. Or another main area, they determine the proportion of the renewable energy use. Okay. And another main area, they try to set the targets for absorbing the greenhouse gas. Okay. When they focus on the area that I mentioned, they will, like I mentioned before, it's about the legislative. You will see some legislative like that I show in the slide. Okay, the carbon border adjustment mechanism, or the corporate sustainability due diligence, the deforestation-free product, and the eco design. Okay, if you look from this legislative, okay, I give you the summary detail one by one. Okay, what is a carbon border adjustment mechanism? Okay, I call shortly the CBAM. Okay, the CBAM, you can think the CBAM, it's the way that they use the tax. Okay, they use the tax for the imported goods based on the greenhouse gas emission. Okay, we can consider the CBAM is a mechanism to ensure that goods imported into the EU are fully accounted for in terms of their carbon emission. Okay, so through the purchase of the CBAM, the certificates at price equivalent to the cost of the carbon emission of the similar goods produced in EU. I mean, actually, the concept, they want the product that produced outside the EU have the same standard with the product that they produce in the EU country. Okay, for the product that they produce from the outside EU, okay, you have to make sure that your product met the EU standard, especially for the carbon credits. Okay, if you not met, I mean, if you not comply to the standard, you have to pay like some tax. Okay, that's a mechanism of the CBAM. I think this is the first one that we need to know about it. Okay, the second one that related to the industry. Okay, the Green Deal, they talk about the due diligence, the sustainability due diligence. Okay, they classify into 4 windows, but I think that related to the Indonesian industry, I think is on the left, the top left and the lower left. Oh, sorry, not left, right. Okay, the top right and the lower right window for the non-EU companies. This sustainability due diligence is about the industry that they focus on the potential and actual impact. Okay, actual adverse impact on the human rights and the environmental aspects. I think there's a two main impact that, I mean, the 2 main area that they really interested. If your company, or if your company or if your industry fall in the top right and the lower right window. Okay, let's see for the group one for the non-EU company. Okay, you have the more than 150 million euro turnover generated in EU. Okay, if you have more than the 500 employees, okay, you will be considered to the group 1. And so you can see the criteria for the group 2. Okay, let's see what they try, what the sustainability due diligence want you to do. Okay, when we talk about the sustainability due diligence, the due diligence not only needs to be conducted at your own operation, okay, and your subsidiary worldwide, but they focus, okay, they focus widely. They focus for the company that's along in the value chain of your industry, okay. They expand the scope. I mean, not only your, but they expand to all the supply chain of your company. They use the keyword like the establish the business relationship along the value chain. So what does it mean? It's mean the all upstream and downstream activities of your operation. I mean, including from the upstream, the sourcing of the necessary input materials to your business needs to that you use to create your product, and the following distribution and storage until your product is in the customer hand. But when your product is out of use, okay, how you will manage the product, that's the end of the life cycle. So that's why if you see from the supply chain that I mentioned, I mean at the beginning, I call that this a traditional supply chain. Okay, when we think that supply chain to match with the due diligence, the traditional supply chain might transform into the closed loop supply chain. I think some of you ever heard about the closed loop supply chain or the closed loop logistic, or there's many terms to say, but I use the closed loop supply chain. When you talk about the closed loop supply chain, you will see the circle that never stop. I mean, I call this the circle of the manufacturing or the supply chain that never stop. From the consumer, like the product when it's out of service, okay, or when they don't use it, how will you manage the return? Okay, from the return, can you make it repair or the refurbish? Okay, can you reuse it? And from the reuse, the end of the life of the product is mean recycle. And from the recycle, you turn to the production and distribution. Okay, it's like the loop that never stop. This is the idea of about the due diligence. Okay, and the third one we talk about the deforestation free product. Okay, for the deforestation free product, it's obvious, right? I mean, it's so obvious that the regulation they focus on the, I think right now the they look in this field because the product that come from the deforestation or the forest degradation, they consider this can cause a global warming and biodiversity loss. Okay, the data from the EU, they talk about the 23% of the greenhouse gas emission came from the agriculture, forestry, and other land uses. Okay, that's in the EU, the European Commission point of view. So they focus on the, I think at the introductory of the Green Deal, they focus on the 7 products. The products, the wood products, the beef, the palm oil, soy, coffee, cocoa, and rubber. I think this is the main product that they interested. Okay, and they want to check your product, where is the origin of your product. When you produce this product, did you make the damage to the forest, or you deforest? Okay, or you degrade the plantation or the forest or not? Okay, this is the third one for the deforestation-free product. Okay, and so I show you the major industry of the Indonesia and the Thailand, the palm oil industry, that I think we will get impact. I mean, sooner or later, if we want to export our product to the EU, or maybe if we don't export to the EU, but we export our product to the country, I mean to other countries, but that countries maybe the third, the fourth processor, but they have to export their product to the EU. We will also impact, because when they talk about the product, they talk about all the value chain, or all the supply chain. Okay, it's like they try to force, okay, to, I mean, the every member that related to produce that product. Okay, so I give you the background, I give you the what, how can I say, the motivation why we have to focus on the next topic, I mean on the major topic for today, I mean for the green supply chain. But before we go there, this is the concept. This is a concept when we talk about the measurement, right? Because when we manage something, we want to measure, like in the supply chain management. When we want to manage the supply chain, I think the idea of the measurement, I mean, or the concept of the measurement, mainly, if you look at okay, maybe I go from the right picture first. This is like the conceptual idea. I mean, every organization, we want to create, we want to make profit. Impact by the left and right leg. Okay, left leg is a revenue. Okay, it's you want the high revenue, and on another leg, okay, you want the lower cost. But when we mention about the cost in the supply chain, okay, I think that's the first measurement that the supply chain manager, we want to know. Did we know the total cost of the supply chain? Okay, because if you look back in the last 2 or 3 slides, when we discussed about the Green Deal, if you want to satisfy, or if you want to comply to the standards, I mean, the supply chain cost will increase, okay, inevitably, right? Okay, you have to track your product, or you have to make sure your product come from what, the area that you don't deforest, okay, or you don't intimidate, or you don't harm the nature forest. Okay, I mean, the main idea is because if we want to comply to the standard, the cost in the supply chain will increase. Okay, but on another view, maybe you will give higher price if you can comply to the standard. So you have to balance, okay, which objective of the supply chain management, that your strategy of the company you're looking for. You want to be the organization that create the high product, that means the high value product, so you can get the higher revenue. Okay, or you want to be the organization that you may focus on the lower cost. Okay, so from the cost, okay, I pick up from the cost side. I pick up from the cost side, the cost perspective. The minimum standard, okay, if we want to comply to the minimum standard, you can see the cost or the total cost of the supply chain. It's related to the efficiency. Okay, when you have the high cost, it means your efficiency will get lower. Okay, on another way, if you try to increase your efficiency, it means you want to reduce the total cost in the supply chain. But actually, in my idea, I think the measurement, the performance measurement, start from the revenue and the cost, and you try to dig it down to in the activities. Okay, because when we talk about the inactivities, mostly in the management, mainly we focus on the efficiency. Okay, this is just the conceptual idea. Okay, about the measurement, the performance. Okay, so what effect to the traditional supply chain, to the when we call the GSC, okay, the green supply chain. Okay, maybe you can see from the traditional supply chain, we just talk about the upstream to the downstream, from the plantation to the collector. But I think for the right now and maybe in the near future, okay, the traditional supply chain might transform, to the supply chain on the left, on the right hand side. If we want to go green, okay, in my idea, in my idea, if we want to go green, maybe, like, how can I say, like the circular supply chain. Okay, this chain not just start and end. Okay, but this chain, it will never end. When you see the green supply chain, but actually, if you see this picture, it's like the idea of the closed loop supply chain. Okay, from the collector, manufacturer, to distributor, wholesaler, customer, collector, recycler, plantation. Okay, that's in terms of management. This is the bigger scope, because we have to think about how can we manage when the product at the end of the life of the product. Okay, this is I think for the traditional supply chain, will turn to the picture when we talk about the green supply chain. Okay, what time? Okay, let's see. When we talk about the green supply chain, okay, I go back to the activities in the supply chain, and you can see I refer the terms from the manuscript. When we talk about the green just try to narrow. Okay, maybe we try to narrow it down for the main activities in the green supply chain. When we discuss about the green supply chain, what are the main activities that we should focus? Okay, from the upstream, we talk about the procurement. Okay, they use the term for the green procurement. The next activity, maybe not in, but I think it's in the logistics. It's about the design, the product design. But for the agro industry, maybe we mainly focus on the process design or the packaging designs. Okay, like the friendly. I think if you see on the Google, you can see the friendly packaging. Okay. The third activity is about the green manufacturing. The next one is about the green warehouse, okay, and green transportation. And lastly, the last activity is reverse logistics. Okay, that's so that's the main activity. That's we focus on the green supply chain. Okay, when we can focus on the activities in our supply chain, I just pick the example because Dr. Harry, he mentioned about, I think most of you familiar with the score. Okay, this one for the one with the familiar with the score, I think in the score they have the indicator or the performance indicator that you can select or you can pick and put in your supply, put in your logistic activities. Okay, when we mention about the score model, okay, normally the score model, they are required for the one, I mean the first, the second, and the third level, right? For the each level, on the first level, they talk about the top level. If you see the term or the schematic term that they use in score, I mean they start from, I mean, if you're familiar with the early version of the score, they talk about only the plan, source, make, and deliver, right? But I think the latest version, I'm not sure which year. Okay, they put one more schematic term. I mean, from plan, source, make, deliver. Okay, they put the return. Okay, that's why I think they already adapt themselves, I mean, into the situation of the business. Okay, that's a top level. Okay, and when we talk about the second level, okay, we try to break down, I mean break to another level from the top. Okay, what are in the activities of source? Okay, what are in the activities of make? Okay, that is a configuration level. And the third level, they talk about the process activities. Okay, that's, I think the score model, it's I mean the popular, I mean when you want to build a supply chain model, because I think the advantage, they prepare. Okay, they really prepare for you. Okay, but I mean sometimes I found maybe we cannot uh, get the everything, or like the indicator, okay, to match with our supply chain. I think that's the problem application. Okay, well, I think maybe we will discuss this later in the discussion session. Okay, so in my idea, when you want to measure the green supply chain, uh, when you want to measure the performance of the green supply chain, maybe the score will be your choice. Okay, to select the measurement indicator from the score model. Okay, I just show the example. Okay, I want to take you to the goal of the green supply chain. If you see in this term, I think for the European Green Deal, okay, such example from the European Green Deal, they try to do, I mean, they try to issue so many regulations. I think the end, I mean, not the end, the goal, okay, but the goal of the regulation, they 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 look at the term of, and they look at the term of the sustainability. So I think, like, I mean, in my idea, it's like a two side of coins, because uh, when you flip on another face, you may look at the green supply chain, but when you flip another side of your coin, you will see in terms of the sustainability. So I think these two words, I mean, these two ideas, they are related, or maybe you can use like interchangeability. You know, I mean, the green supply chain or sustainability supply chain. So I use this opportunity to survey, okay, to take you to survey on the idea of the sustainability. When we talk about the idea of sustainability in term of the measurement, okay, you will see the three performance that they're looking for. I mean, the social performance, the environmental performance, and the economic performance. Okay, to achieve the goal of the sustainability. Okay, I try to put in this picture, like when I said, oh sorry, like I said, it's like the interchangeability. I try to put in this way. Okay, I try to explain my idea. When we talk about the supply chain management, we try to manage. I said we try to manage in the vertical. No, not sorry, vertical, horizontal. Okay, from the upstream to downstream. Okay, if you think about the plantation to the collector, primary processor, secondary processor, distributor, until to the hand of consumer. I call that it's horizontal management. Okay, the output of management. I think this is general, right? We want our product to be the lower cost with high quality and what the delivery. I mean the delivery on time. Okay, this is the output or the objective of our management. Okay, but you cannot deliver the lower cost, the high quality, the on-time delivery without the manage on the vertical, in the verticals. I mean the vertical management, because how can we manage between or different organization in our chain, right? So when we have to make sure that the each member or each organization in our supply chain, or in our value chain, they look at the same way, but they have to consider about the sustainability too. So if one of the member, I mean, they don't look at the same point, or they don't think at the same point, like all the member in the supply chain, I mean, your chain might be broken. Okay, in terms of the sustainability. So I think I try to put the conceptual idea. I mean, the linkage between the green supply chain and the sustainability supply chain from the different perspective. Okay, when we talk about the measurement of the green supply chain, okay, I think we still measure in the traditional way. I mean, cost, quality, delivery, but to comply with the standard, or to comply with the trend of the manufacturing, the environmental. Okay, we have to measure in the term of the social, environmental, and economics. Okay, this is the idea that I try to share with you. Okay, I think, like I said, for the indicator, the performance measurement, the sustainability supply chain, green supply chain. Okay, this is the example that I review. Okay, I review from the manuscript. For the audience that interested, you can get the manuscript. Okay. Okay, like in this manuscript, when we talk about the economics, the term, the measurement in terms of economics, we talk about the environmental cost. Okay, if you see the metric in the environmental cost, we talk about this is like when you want to comply to the environmental standard. Okay, you have to pay absolutely, right? When you want to do the recycling activity, okay, then we'll turn to the recycling cost. Okay, the cost about the energy consumption, the disposal cost. Okay, the cost of the what the to procure, to purchase the friendly material. Okay, all these costs, you it may be never count in the traditional supply chain, but for the environment, I mean for the sustain of the green supply chain, okay, you have to pay for it. Okay, the second one in the term of economics, we talk about the traditional supply chain. Okay, this is just the standard that we have to pay. Okay, the transportation cost, inventory, information, ordering. Okay, and in the term of quality, okay, the scrap and rework. Okay, the complaint, the customer complaint. Okay, this is in term of economics, and two more about the flexibility and the responsiveness. Okay, this is for the first, I mean for the first column. I mean under the sustainability concept, when we want to measure in terms of economics. Okay, for the second column, okay, for the sustainability, okay, we talk about the environment. Okay, for the environment, you can measure in various areas, like the level of process. You measure the product features, you measure your efficiency in recycling, or you measure in terms of the environmental technology. Okay, you can see the variety of metrics. You know, when you talk about the process management, okay, we talk about your process optimization for waste reduction, how you control your pollution. Okay, how will you reduce your waste and gas emission. Okay, and energy consumption. This relate to your process. How good, I mean how good for your process. Okay, to release, I mean the waste or the emission. And for the product feature, we talk about the level of recycled material. I think if you check in the EU regulation, I'm not sure the number. I think for the new car, I mean when they want, let's say when for the car or the automobile, I think for the EU standard, they have some number of the recycled material. Okay, for the automobile. Okay, maybe like even, okay, you cannot see my notebook. My notebook, it's from the recycled material. Okay, they put on the my notebook. They said like the post-consumer recycle. Okay, this is a product feature. Okay, the eco labeling. Okay, the uses of design for assembly. I mean some of these terms. I mean if you're interested, you can search more. I think okay, about the efficiency of recycle. I mean the time, the energy. Okay, you consume. I mean you spend time, you consume energy, and the efficiency for the waste reduction. What it will be. Okay, okay. This is for the environmental issue. The last column, okay, that support the sustainability. We talk about the social sustainability. in terms of the employee, customer, and management. Okay, the metric, some like the management commitment. Okay, how you motivate your how you motivate your employee. I mean, to see. I mean, in the sustainability way. Okay, the availability of the control environmental system. Okay, this is okay. I will not go in the detail. This is, I mean, the example of the metric or the performance indicator that you can uh, use it. Okay, if you want to measure in terms of the sustainability. Okay, maybe this is almost my last topic. I want to share with you about the research that I just did, but not all the supply chain. I focus on the activities in the warehouse. Okay. I still have about 10-15 minutes. Okay. For the research case study that I want to share with you. Sorry. For the research case study then I want to share. In this study, the objective, we want to study the factors and design the manual broken case or the picking system in the frozen seafood warehouse of the small and medium enterprise. Okay, driven by customer demand behavior. Okay, and another measurement, we also focus on the sustainability warehouse management. Okay, I mean roughly idea. The motivation of the problem, we study in the frozen warehouse. Okay, when we talk about the frozen seafood warehouse, we talk about the temperature is about minus 20 degrees Celsius. Okay, that's a standard. I mean, your worker or your labor cannot stay longer than 15, 20 minutes. Okay, but the thing happens because if you see the graph that I show you, the above graph, maybe I'm sorry, the letter so small. If you can read, the first one, the top one, it's represent the order volume. Okay, this is like the finished good warehouse. The finished good warehouse, it get the product from the production line and put in the warehouse and wait for the order from customer. Okay, when the customer orders arrives, the picker, the labor, they have to pick the finished goods. I mean, following the order. Okay, if you see the top graph, you can see it represents the order volume in terms of box. Okay, box per month. The red bar, I mean the red bar is a full case. The blue one, I mean the blue bar is a broken case. Okay, if you see in terms of the volume, okay, you will see the full case order. Okay, it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot more than the broken case. Okay, but the bottom graph, okay, give us the how can I say? Okay, they show you the total picking time. Okay, they show you the total picking time. You can see, but the thing that make the researcher wonder is about the total picking time. When you pick the full case, you spend a lot. I mean, you spend time less than the broken case. You can see the bottom graph, the green bar is the total picking time when you pick the full case order, and the blue, okay, the dark blue, it show you the picking time of the broken case order. So that's why we want to manage, okay, by to how can we pick or how can we finish the order picking faster, because when we can finish faster, it means you spend less time in the frozen warehouse, I mean in the frozen room. Okay, that's about the safety. But in another point, it's about when you spend less time, it means you increase the efficiency. Okay, when you increase the efficiency, it means you lower your cost. Okay, but like I mentioned, this is just another activity in your supply chain. Okay, but also not only efficiency in this study, we also concerned about the sustainability warehouse. Okay, let's see. This is the measurement indicator or the performance indicator that we concern. Okay, that we concern in the research. Okay, in terms of the environmental, we talk about the CO2 emission. Okay, in terms of the economic, we consider about the rack or the shelf utilization. Okay, and for the social, we consider about the labor utilization. This is the performance indicator that we interested. Okay, the research method. For our research method, I think it's a general, because we don't want to we don't want to get involved. I mean, not get involved. We don't want to interfere. Okay, sorry. We don't want to interfere the physical system. I mean, we don't want to interfere the working system. So we choose a simulation model to be a tool for the research. Okay, this is like the research method when you use a simulation model. Okay, we build, okay, we simulate. You can see this is the simulation model for the frozen warehouse. Okay, I think every one of you know the simulation. Okay, so we simulate the real system, and we want to experiment with the computer model to find the factor. Okay, what factor affect to the total picking time. Okay, and when we know the factor, we want to decide which level of the factor that will yield or that will give the minimum total picking time. Okay, from the simulation model, when we create the simulation model, and we make sure the model can be represented the real world. Okay, we use the experimental design with the computer model. Okay, this is just like the general experimental design with the two-factor factorial. Okay, in this study, we focus on we mainly focus on the two factors. Okay, it's about the order picking and the storage assignment, the method of the storage assignment. Okay. Okay. This is you can see we measure in three indicators. The main one, I mean the main one is about the total picking time. Okay, you can see under the different condition of experiment, you will see the performance of the total picking time Okay, maybe I will not go in the detail. Okay, just let you. Okay, and the second performance is about the utilization of the rack, and the third one is about the labor utilization. Okay, and I want to show you for the performance measurement. Uh, in my perspective, I think it should come from when we analyze a problem, and when we analyze a problem and how, no, not how, the objective and the final goal when we want to solve the problem. So the performance measurement, it will relate to your objective of the problem solving. I think I spent about 50 minutes for my presentation. Maybe, okay, I start from the session of the Q&A. Okay, I think that's all for my presentation for today.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Professor Licon. This is a great presentation for the attendance today. And I would like to say thank you. And also, this is a lot of information that we share to the audience. And now we coming to next session. This is now is a discussion session. Ladies and gentlemen, now we continue to a discussion session. So we have 20 minutes first for this discussion session, and I open for two or three first question. So please, to all audience who has a question, please raise your hand, or you can write in the question chat room, or you can say directly, mention the question, and then also for Professor Nicole, please, if you get the point of this question, you can answer directly. Okay, we open for the question session or discussion session. Please, for the all audience. Question, please.
Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
May I ask?
Yeah. Oh, Professor Sunny. Okay. Let me see. This is Professor Sunny.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Professor Bagus. Hello. Good afternoon, Professor Nikon. Good morning, maybe in Thailand.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Hello, sir. Yes, my name is Sony Harsono. I'm from University of Jember in Indonesia.
Yes,
Yes.
nice to meet you, sir.
Yes, it's very clear and interesting for your information. It's very quite large idea, I think, in the future. And first of all, I would like to focus on asking about the palm oil you mentioned before. Yes, palm oil. As you know that European Union have a due diligence to check the availability of the export of palm oil from Indonesia, Malaysia, or Thailand to Europe. That yes, correct. This is also my research before when I was research with Humboldt University in Germany with my friend in Malaysia about
Yes.
the availability of palm oil in Indonesia and Malaysia. That from the data we got, that there are about around 43 until 44% of the owners of palm oil is people. I mean, middle class or maybe not big company.
Mm-hmm.
As I heard that you informed that the European Union has capability to imply the due diligence before
Yes.
we Indonesia, Malaysia, and Thailand or Asian countries export to Europe. The problem is, first of all, it's about the deforestation. As you know that Indonesia, our country, my country, is much every year increase to deforestation of the land in Kalimantan, Sumatra, also in Papua. This is the first focus is how our country, ASEAN countries can what is called avoid that regulation about deforestation, because it's very important for us if we want to improve the quantity and quality of the palm oil we export to European countries. We have to open land, but the problem with the open land is almost called from pit land. You know, pit land is quite dangerous for our environment. The second one, also the European Union also imply about green technology to process palm oil. Same thing, because almost the biggest producer of palm oil in Indonesia is from the small company. It is very hard and very difficult to imply the green technology like that. What is your opinion, Professor Nikon, about this? And because we would like to get more profit if you export to other countries than use to other use in our country itself. What your opinion to avoid the regulation from EU? Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Professor Sunny. There's the question. If I get point of this question is about the green technology that it could be implemented to follow the regulation from Green Deal. So, what is the opinion of Professor Bika? That's a question, please.
Can I? Okay, thank you for the question, Dr. Sony. Can I go back to the first point? I think the second point you mentioned about when the small producer, right, the small manufacturer with the green technology, right?
Yes.
Okay, and how about the first point that you mentioned about the deforestation?
Yeah.
Let me address. Let me address the second
Yes.
point first.
Yes. Okay.
When you, I don't know, when you small, when you not the big company, in terms of technology, you talk about the investment or what?
Yes, you know that when we produce palm oil, such area in Kalimantan and Sumatra, they use ordinary as usual technology. I mean, they not need green technology, how to use waste material for energy for producing something. So it's mean that it's very hard and very difficult to imply the green technology during production of palm oil. As you know, from the farming, as I know when I was there, this very dirty technology use, like from farming, from transporting, from what is called processing, like how to use the fresh empty fruit branches. Yeah, they just burning, but they have they have to choose not only direct burning from empty fruit branches, but you can use make briquette or pellets to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Something like that. That the technology is from the small company whom the biggest producer in Indonesia is not used like that because it needs investment to buy the equipment to use to produce briquette or other things. This is my focus.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
Professor.
Okay, I think that's the same. I agree with you when we talk about the technology and the investment. I think most of the time it will be a problem for the small producer. Okay, but in my idea, if you can, okay, I'm not sure. Okay, let's put it this way. I talk about the CPO. Okay, the CPO mill. I think when I see in Thailand for the CPO, that's one. I mean, I saw the way that they use the wastewater from the production and produce the biogas, but it also high investment, right? I mean, I'm not
Yes.
sure. I'm not sure if for the Indonesia. I mean, but in Thailand, even the small factory, when they want to use the wastewater to produce the biogas, but in
Yes.
Thailand, we use that gas to generate for the electricity.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I think that's in term. I mean, that's in term of the how can I say the circular. Okay.
Circular economy, yeah. Circular
The
economy,
circular
yeah.
economy. Yeah, the circular economy. We don't want any waste. I
Yes.
mean, to be useless. Okay, we try to use every piece of the palm. Okay, to use it. And
Okay.
in Thailand, we can sell that electricity to the government. But I understood some of the producer even to make the make the electricity from the gas, because I think
Okay.
you need to invest for the equipment, right?
Yes. Okay.
Uh-huh. Okay, but that one, I think that that's the one example that I saw. But on another example, that maybe they use a low technology. They don't use the waste to produce electricity,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
they use the waste to burn and use
Mm.
as the fuel for the boiler, stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Yes. I think that's in terms of technology.
Technology.
Because in my idea, I thought it depends on, I mean, the money that you can invest,
Oh
right?
yeah. Okay.
Yes. Okay. I'm not
Yeah.
sure I addressed your question or
Yes.
not,
I
but
think. I think it's a good idea. Yeah. The problem
uh-huh.
is. Yeah. I think we must use wastewater as well gas to generate electricity like that. I think it's a
Uh-huh.
good idea in the future. Okay.
Yes. But
Okay. But the first question. What was the question about the?
let me address one more. I mean, because if you see, I'm not sure I have the data or not. Because in Thailand, when we talk, let me see first. Okay. Oh, I don't have the slide here. I try to compare. I try to compare the size of the producer. I mean, because if you come, I think Thailand and Indonesia, we are in the same situation. We have many small holders, if I'm not mistaken. But when you
Yes.
compare yeah, but when we compare with the Malaysia, I mean the Malaysia is in another picture. I mean the holder in Malaysia, they are the big holder. So I mean that's the idea. Start from when you manage the supply chain. Maybe when you have many small holders, how you can manage those small holders together. You see, like if you see, like when we want to invest in the, let's say, the gas generator, right?
Yeah.
If you have the plan, I have the plan, and we are so close. I mean, well, we are not so far. I mean, we are not so far apart, so we can share the equipment. I think I I look in terms of that management. Maybe the root, I mean the cost, I thought in the root cause, maybe because if we can make the small holder, I mean collaborate, okay, into the big group, I think in terms of investment, it will be possible. You see, like the example, I think in the Indonesia, you have the cooperative. I'm not sure, like the organization that we call cooperative.
We
Yeah,
have
cooperative,
yeah,
the cooperative, right? I think that, yeah, the cooperative is a concept of the get the small holder together and make them stronger. I think that's in my thought. Okay, I address. Okay, maybe please you go back to the first. I'm not sure the first issue.
Okay, yeah. Okay, thanks very much. That is very clear now. Okay. Thank you, Professor Nikon. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Professor Nikon, for the answer, and Professor Sami already certified with this answer. If I can repeat that collaboration for the cooperative, I think that's the solving for this problem for low investment for smallholder to implement green technology. Is that correct, Professor?
Yes.
Okay.
But in terms of the research, we have to study the possibility, right? The feasibility.
Yeah, right. yeah, because this is an investment, so I think that's good if we have studied before to make a collaboration between smallholder among smallholder. Yeah. Okay,
yes,
thank you, Professor Rikat.
Yes, sir.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now we open also for next question. Okay, next question, please. Any question, please?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
Dr. Bagus.
Okay,
I'm listening.
please, Dr. Bambang.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Ida Bagus. Professor Nikon,
Yes, sir.
thank you for your explanation. I have some question for you. In our
Yes, sir.
study program, implementation of green supply chain has been carried out. We sample in small industry like coffee, cacao, and etc. According to Professor Nikon explanation, there are limitation problem with the SGOR matrix. Maybe not all indicators are suitable for our company. We can build the metric according the situation to our company. This is true. So we had to build our own measurement metric. One of the serious challenges in building a green supply chain management is combine operational or economic indicator with environmental indicator. it seems that the metric you gave is a little different from traditional SGOR. Can it be more accurate than SGOR, Prof? Because I see your example is little different from SGOR in indicator. And the second, I show that the metric is a combination of qualitative and quantitative indicator. Is it allowed to measure using score like Likert scale, like Likert scale, maybe because this problem is faced by my student that takes the topic of performance measurement in supply chain. Thank you. Maybe you can explain about it.
Okay. I think I'm okay. Let me make the question clearly. The first question you share about the difference. I mean, from the score.
Yes.
Could you repeat? Could you repeat the first question, sir?
Okay. I want to repeat this. My question. Can we build the metric that contains indicator in qualitative and quantitative? The first.
You mean, because I think that it could be in either way, right? I mean, the indicator, the quantitative or the qualitative. But I mean, I'm not sure. Most of the time, when you, let's say, when we want to know about the feeling, okay, the feeling, how customer feel or satisfied with our service. That one, it will be the qualitative, right? I mean, when we want to know about, when we want to know about the feeling, or because I think the qualitative that we cannot measure like cost, like time.
Yes.
So I'm not sure I get the question or not, because we can use the qualitative and the quantitative. But your question is I'm not sure what is exact for your question.
Okay.
If you can share the example, maybe you have the example that you can share on the screen, so I can understand. Because you talk about the Likert scale. I think the Likert scale is one of the tools that when we want to know the idea, the thought, or the opinion that we cannot measure.
Do you have any example, Dr. Bambang? The question is, I get the point, not about the combination between a qualitative and quantitative method when we implement it to metrics content. That's the question. Is it possible or not, Professor? In the matrix, yeah. This is the possibility of the combination between qualitative and quantitative method. Qualitative method, for example, when we use Likert scale. Yes. Is that possible? What do you think?
Combine, Prof. Nico. Indicator, because many students use many indicators that we use qualitative and quantitative.
Yes.
is possible from all the indicator that's accurate to measure the performance supply chain.
Okay, maybe okay. You talk about the possible to use the quantitative or qualitative.
Yes,
Am
yes,
I
yes,
am I
Combination,
correct?
yes.
combination of this
I,
method.
I think it's possible because when I mentioned when you want to measure something, you talk about okay, let's say in the supply chain, the logistic activities. Because in the presentation, I show the 13 standard activities in the, I mean, the 13 logistic activities in the supply chain. If you see in those activities, it could be both. I mean, qualitative or quantitative. Okay, let's see. Like, okay, the first one, the customer service. When you want to measure your supply chain service or your let's say your company service to your customer, you talk about the feeling, right? How if I was your customer, how do I feel with your service? This is also the, I mean, this is the qualitative, because you want your customer to rate your service 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this is in terms of the qualitative or the customer service, but it depends on, I mean, this is just an idea, but it depends on your question too, right? And okay, let's see if we talk about the order processing. Okay, the activities on the order processing. It could be quantitative, like how many days you process your customer orders. I mean, how many days you finish to process your customer orders. This could be the quantitative, right?
Quantitative.
Yes, and another way, maybe you want to know how how your how your customer feel about fast, slow when you process their orders.
Yeah.
This is could be the qualitative,
Yeah.
right? I'm not sure. I think for my idea, it is possible, right? Or okay, let's say inventory control. Okay, back to our warehouse inventory control. For the accounting department, when they measure the inventory control, they measure in the term of what? The day of sold, right? The day of if you the days of the inventory ratio, like how many days that your product will stay in the warehouse or will stay in your warehouse until it leaves from your warehouse.
Cycle time.
Yeah,
Time.
yeah. That I think day of inventory sold. Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, right? But in the same indicator, you may ask the warehouse operator. You may ask the warehouse operator. In the warehouse operator, you think this item it could be fast, medium, or slow move. So I think both of the quantitative and qualitative can be used, but if I prefer, I mean in terms of statistic, right? In terms of statistic, the information from the information from quantitative will provide you the better information than the qualitative. I think I answer from the statistic term, right, on the data, because if I can get the qualitative, I will choose the qualitative. Because if you use a quantitative, it means you have to collect a lot number of samples, right? To make your data it's reliable. So I mean, if I address this question, I think we can use both. But if we can choose, I will choose the quantitative. But I understood in many situations we cannot collect, like when my student they work in thesis, okay, because maybe in that supply chain or in that organization they don't have the data, okay. Maybe we have to switch. I think I in my idea, I'm not sure I address correctly or not, but in my idea.
Okay. Okay. That's it, sir. Dr. Bambang, please define this.
Okay. Thank you, Prof. Bagus. It means
Okay.
very possible to use qualitative or quantitative indicators, depend on situation.
Yeah. I think that's the answer. The point of this answer. Both of this method could be used to perform to assessment in supply chain performance. Okay. Thank you.
Let me share, Professor.
Yeah.
Let me share. But when you mention about the score, right? When you mention about the score or green score,
Yeah.
I think some, I mean, they have both, right? Quantitative and qualitative. I think. Because I didn't check. I haven't checked the latest score lately. So I mean, previously known from my research, I think they have both.
Okay. Usually we use also in quantitative methods because this is, I think, we use this method much more accurate when we use the day or hours or usually like the turnover in the inventory system. We use how long? How long is the answer is days or we team basis. I think use team time basis. So we use hours or something others, and so make me sure about this measurement, something like that. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Okay, can we move to another question, Professor? Because we still have two questions. This is from Dr. Sri Wahyuni. Sri Wahyuni say, and she write the question, two questions in the chat room. So I will read this question. First question is about what are the advantages? What are the advantages and disadvantages of implementing green supply chain management in agri-industry, especially in generating profit? So this is the this point question is the advantage and disadvantage when we implementing green supply chain. That's the first question. And then the second question is what are the example of costs associated with environmental compliance in implementing green supply chain management in agri-industry in Thailand. So she wants to know what is the example of cost associated. The example is industry in Thailand. That's the two questions. Do you get the point, Professor?
Okay, let me go for the first question first. The question is about the advantage and disadvantage of implementing the green supply chain. Am I correct?
Yes. In agri-industry, especially in generating profit. So
right. The advantage and disadvantage of implementing the green supply chain.
Yeah, right.
I mean, if I address this question, I will not. Okay, let's put it this way. What will be the disadvantage if you don't implement the green supply chain? Because in my idea, like I try to share my idea. The green, the sustainability, it's originate. Yeah, I mean in these terms, it's originate from the customer. So, right. So I think I will ask, what will be the disadvantage if I don't implement the green supply chain? Okay, maybe I cannot sell my product to this country, okay, or blah blah blah. Okay,
Yeah.
so I think so I will put this question from the business standing. I mean, okay, because we have to right. I think everyone know when we want to comply to the environment, when we want to comply to the standard, the environmental standard, we have to pay. But
Yeah,
when we pay, what will we get back? So I mean, this question, I think I will start from the strategy of the company, or what position or what strategy that your company will go for. Okay, if I don't comply to this standard, okay, I cannot sell. But if I comply, I will make it will pay off to my business. I think that's the key question, right? Between advantage and disadvantage. We have to think. I mean, we have to start to think from the business standpoint.
Yeah. I think that's difficult if we comply the regulation, and that is the advantage. So I think that's the business will be worse. I think, because this is difficulties too. So there is no chance. There is no option. We have to follow this regulation to get advantage, to implement the green supply chain to get profit for our company. Is that correct, Professor?
Yes. Let me ask. In Indonesia, for the palm oil plantation, you have the term RSPO, round. Let me say round table sustainability, stuff like that. RSPO.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. I mean, for Thailand, for RSPO, let me see, round table sustainability, palm oil operation, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Round table RSPO. In Thailand, we try to gather the group of the plantation, the group of the farmers, to comply with the standard of RSPO. Okay, and the benefit that they get, they can sell in the higher price.
Yeah.
I think that's an example. What will we get, or what will we not get?
Yes.
Yes. I think that's the example that I want to share. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. What is the second question, sir?
I think you already answered the second question.
Oh, okay.
Because you gave us some example. Because the second question is the example of industry in Thailand about how to implement the green supply chain, and I think there is a question also. It's about cost. What do you think, Professor? Because you see, when they implementing green supply chain, some industry also say that it's very high cost, high investment. Is that happen also in Thailand?
Yes, sir. But back to the business profit.
Yeah.
Back to business profit. As long as we can make profit, I think business will do.
Okay, right.
Right. Yeah. As long as we make profit, business will go for it. Okay.
Okay. That's the answer. Okay.
Yeah, but in the term of cost, I mean, from the from the academic, we can help the industry. I mean, to make sure they can do it efficiently, right?
Yeah.
Because I think, from the academic, or from the IE, or from the agro industry, okay, we can help them to make sure that the thing that they're working really lowest cost. I think that we can help, because many research or many consultant, many consulting job, we looking for the help for the cost reduction. Yes.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Professor. That's the answer of second question. We still have another question, Professor. This is from Dr. Elida. She write also the question from Professor Dr. Bambang Heri. This is actually this is the question from Dr. Elida. I'll read this question: How to measure the performance of social sustainability of the agricultural product? How to measure social performance of agricultural product?
Okay, the social performance.
Yeah.
If you check in the handout, this is the both quantitative and both qualitative, right? The example that I refer, the example that I refer from the manuscript. Okay, you see, like, okay, because when we talk about the social, we measure in terms of the customer satisfaction or the employee, the level. If you see employee, okay, because the example of my research, I focus on the employee satisfaction. Okay, this is qualitative.
Yeah.
Or the number of the training. Okay, this is could be the quantitative. I'm not sure the example from the manuscript can, this is the, okay, right? I think
this is performance of social. Yeah, this is a social. Yeah, social performance, and I think that you have also in your table that you mentioned before that there is a social also then. So I think this is close to, and when we measure, we can use this is like social performance. You use qualitative. This is a qualitative also method, and this is so it's like how to something like how to provide some job or worker from the farmer on this in this condition. I think that's one of these social performance. Is that also happen in Thailand? So social performance.
Maybe for the employee. Actually, this is the guideline, but sometimes we have to choose, or we have to create the new indicator.
Okay, yeah.
We use for the guideline.
Guideline, okay, guideline. So I think also with social sustainability, we have also some. I have some research here how to provide job to the farmer is one of social. And I think in Thailand also happens something like that. How so when we implement some green supply chain, also we have to look social sustainability in agricultural product. So I think that's the same condition also. Is that correct, Professor? Yeah. Okay. Okay. I think that's the question. Third question. So I would like to check. Does it still have time for this, Dr. Bambang? Yeah. Yeah. I think that's all of the question already answered, and I'm trying to. Is there any? Okay, I offer to the audience. Is there any other question? Actually, I have one question, Professor. This is the last question, because this is this is very interesting that you put one concept in the end of your presentation. There is this is, I think, this great concept when you say the sustainable of agro-industry, and then you put cost, quality, and delivery and also social, environmental, and economic.
Oh,
That's your concept. I think that's very interesting, and this is it's very important also. And then you give some simulation model. So how far is or how the possibilities when we implement this concept about cost, quality, and delivery. Yes, and then we combine with social, environment, and economic.
okay. This is the idea. Yeah, idea I want to share because I want to focus on the group of the measurement.
Yeah.
But I want to share. I want to share the you will see, because the supply chain management or the green supply chain management, it's like you manage on the horizontal or I think everyone familiar with the term, the vertical integration and horizontal integration, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that's
okay. Right,
okay,
because
thank you. Yeah.
okay, because I mean the three main indicator on the horizontal integration, everything that supply chain, every task, every activities, or everything that the member in the supply chain we do to satisfy the end user. So I think the first priority, we have to think about the end user. The end user, the end user, they concern, they concern about the cost, quality, and delivery. This is from the traditional, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, but I add another another integration, because when we want to satisfy the end user, we may forget for the social.
Yeah.
We want to please, we want to make our customer happy, we want to get the product, the lower cost to our customer. But on another perspective, the social impact, right, or the environmental impact could happen to our, like the EU. I said the EU. Okay. But the social impact, the environmental, economic, it will, or it can happen, or it can occur when every organization or every member in the supply chain, we have the target for that topics. That the idea that I want to share.
Okay, thank you, Professor. I think that's
we try to integrate. We try to combine both integration in the same topics, in the same story. I think that's the idea, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Professor. Okay, I think that's clear. And we still have Dr. Rita. You raise your hand. You want to give some question also?
Yeah, maybe this is the last question. Is it okay, Achan?
It's okay. It's okay.
Thank you, Achan.
I'm happy.
Okay.
It's a good, it's a good session. But no student.
Actually, there are so many students here, but I don't know, maybe they're afraid when they have to say in English. Mahasiswa nggak apa-apa kalau mau bertanya pakai bahasa Indonesia, nanti bisa diterjemahkan gitu. Nanti kami bantu untuk menerjemahkan. Yeah, they can typing. Achan, one question for me like this. When we look at the definition about the green supply chain, it seems that only the big industry or state can implement the green supply chain. In my perspective, it's like that. And how about the small and medium enterprise when they want to implement green supply chains management? How they should start, sir? Because it looks like difficult, because they have to, for example, they have to maintain about the supplier who use the low cost in the energy, for example, fuel, and then even the logistic itself. So what do you think if the small and medium enterprises want to implement that green supply chain, sir? Maybe there is a best practice in Thailand for that.
Yes, sir. Dr. Nita. Okay, maybe I address in this way. Because if we even we are small or medium, but if we are in the value chain of the big company, right, they will drive us. I mean, the big company, they will drive us. Okay, or maybe they want ask for the collaboration, because if you check at the, I mean, at the due diligence, I mean, I use a concept of due diligence. They want the chain, they want the value chain of the organization to establish the business relationship. So, like I said, you might not export to EU, but you are in the value chain of the company that export to EU. I think, I mean, they will require you to follow their standards, okay, more or less. So maybe if you can, you might say, okay, I'm alone, I can do business, I'm not in any chain. I think that's fine, because I think the topic that we talk about today, I'm still confident about business. Yeah, if we still, if we have to, I mean, if we have to be the chain, I don't know in which point in chain someday we have to, I think. Yeah, I think in my idea, maybe, yeah, not totally right, but I think in the future.
Okay, ขอบคุณ
Okay.
ค่ะ
I'm not sure. ขอบคุณค่ะ
Okay, thank you. Dr. Nita, you get the point of that answer? Okay, okay, I think that's enough. Okay, that's the last question, I think, Professor. And the time is getting tight, I think. So we have to close the question session. I think this is enough discussion today. Then before I close this session, I would like to read some highlight. It's not conclusion, I think, but I can highlight from this discussion that we have some information from Professor Nikon. This is about problem consumer transportation information of the supply chain, and also this is there is a green deal from the European. This is the green deal. This is about to also CBAM certificate. And then also this is AU standard environmental aspect. And also this is Professor Nicole also explained about profit revenue. This is about cost of the industry, and then we relate it with the strategy also. And then also there is a green procurement. This is a strategy, and when we implement the green supply chain, this is related with green procurement, and then green manufacturing, green warehouse, and then also reverse logistics. And then the last that I get information about the concept, and that's my question also. And I think this is a great. I think this is a very interesting concept, and I think we can also implement. I would like to. I want to implement this concept, Professor Nikan. Maybe sometime I will contact you how to implement this and make a discussion, much more discussion about this. Okay, and I think that's the highlight of this discussion, and I have to close this session. And already finished now. This is the discussion already finished, and we have to close this session presentation. And finally, I would like to say thank you to the speakers, especially for Professor Nikon and all audiences and participants. for your participation to attending this seminar. Hopefully, this information that we have shared today will be useful for all of us. And once again, thank you for kind attention for all, kind attention for all audience and also Professor Nikan. And I hope that we can continue, Professor Nikan, with another activities like collaboration and research also. And sometime maybe we have some collaboration also for student exchange maybe sometime, and then still we continue the discussion in the different forum. Okay, I think that's for me. Thank you very much, and I would like to return back to Dr. Nita. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay. I would like to thank you all the distinguished audiences and all the faculties for inviting me. But I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe the material that I prepared today maybe not specific enough. I think if we have the future session, we can pick up the topic on the like Dr. Harry mentioned about the green score. Okay, because
okay.
if we pick the specific topic, we can discuss more in the detail.
Yeah.
Okay. Today I'm sorry for the material. Maybe it's keep the concept, the logical thinking why we have to interested in the green supply chain or sustainability supply chain. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe if you can set the next session, I mean in the future session, I mean specific on the score or the green score. I think okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the faculty.
Thank you, Professor Nikan. ขอบคุณมากครับ
ขอบคุณครับ
ขอบคุณครับ
ขอบคุณทุกท่านครับ ขอบคุณทุกท่านครับ
Thank you very much, Prof. Nicole.
Okay. So
We
I
have
can
to return back to Dr.
Bisa.
Nita.
Okay.
Okay,
So,
Dr. Nita.
yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, all the guests and audience, we are going to the last agenda for this. This is the closing. Let's close our agenda by reciting Alhamdulillah together. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Alhamdulillah, our agenda is running well. Thanks to 1,000 times for the narrator, for moderator, and all the audience who have been a good participant in measuring green supply chains management performance for agro-industry. We believe that the information presented here will be beneficial to all of you. We hope that this webinar will inspire you to take an action toward your goals. As a human being, I realize that I can't avoid the mistake. I represent all committees of this international webinar. Would like to say sorry if we have many mistakes. Thank you, and once again, thank you very much for all nice attention. The last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so
Prof.
much.
Nicole.
ขอบคุณครับ สวัสดีครับ
I will
Prof.
to you.
Nicole.
Is that all right, sir?
What?
Can I connect to you through email as well to discuss?
Yes.
Yeah.
Please. Okay.
Yeah.
We can discuss more specific topic.
Sure, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Harry. Okay, thank you so much.
I will
Okay,
contact you by line later.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. I think the topic is not so specific. Maybe we can discuss in detail.
ไม่เป็นไรค่ะ sir.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. Keep in touch. Talk to you later.
Yeah, see you. Thank
Okay.
you, sir. เจอกันสวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ
Thank
Swadee
you.
krap.
Swadee krap.
Terima kasih semuanya. Pak Bertung, saya kembalikan ke Pak Bertung.
I can leave, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Professor. Yeah.
เจอ
Talk
กั
to you
น
later. Talk to everyone later. Bye-bye,
Okay,
Professor.
see you later. Thank you.
Pak Bambang.
Link presensi udah di ini tadi. Oke, terima kasih. Thank you, Dr. Nita. Thank you, Dr. Bambang, Pak Dekan juga. Thank you.